you. I have been trying to reach you in your dreams. At long last, I am able to manifest myself here. But time is short. Will you help us?
Yes, I'll help you. I don't have much choice.
Now just relax.
Hey, what's the big idea?
Hey, what happened? How did you do that?
This is where the link originates.
Link?
The bond between your countess and her hosts. Part of her is trapped here. You must remove it.
For the upteenth time, I have no money for your fund.
Show some pity. At least lend us a cigarette.
Ahem. I believe we got company.
Ah. Miss, could you perhaps spare a few dollars for the Joe Gould Fund?
Hello. You're Joseph Mitchell, aren't you?
I believe you have the better of me, Miss...
Blackwell. Rosangela Blackwell.
Blackwell, huh? I might have known.
What are you doing here?
We are echoes. Leftovers, if you will. We were linked to the Countess when we were alive. When we died, part of ourselves got trapped here.
So you're not a ghost?
Not fully. I'm not sure what I am. I remember living, I remember dying, but I don't feel like Joseph Mitchell. All I know is that when I thought of death, an eternity with Joe Gould was the last thing on my mind.
I studied some of your work in journalism school.
Now that's just foolish. I was a relic, even before I died. The city I wrote about has long since evolved and changed into something completely different. But that's New York City, isn't it? Wouldn't be New York if it stayed the same year to year.
What is your connection to the Countess?
I don't know. I never met the woman. Joe Gould was the one who knew her. He had a special bond with her, apparently. But somehow, he passed it on to me when he died. Next thing I knew, I was murdering people by writing about them. There was no choice. I had to stop writing.
Why did you write about Joe Gould?
He's a fascinating man. Intolerable company, but fascinating. He exemplified everything about New York at the time. Its artistic expression, its frustration, its joy and heartbreak. His oral history, or the idea of it, energized the work of dozens of writers and intellectuals. But the more I got to know him, the less I wanted to be around him.
I'm sorry you had to stop writing.
So am I. But what else could I do? Let innocent people die? No, I don't regret the choice I made. Not for one moment.
Did you ever read Joe Gould's oral history?
That, it never existed. Or if it did, Mr. Gould never shared it with anyone, which amounts to the same thing.
You know why I never wrote it down. People would have died.
You didn't stop telling people you were writing it, did you?
What could I say? The truth? They would have chucked me in a loony bin.
You met my auntie.
Your auntie, yes. I do see a slight resemblance. I did warn her to leave well enough alone, but she was determined. Let's hope that you can do some good here.
Did you know Charles Meltzer?
Yes, I did. He worked at the New Yorker back in the late 70s. He would come into my office and ask about the old days, and I was happy to tell him. I knew he would never cut it as a reporter, but he had a very keen, analytical mind. I almost forgot all about him, but it appeared a link formed between us, nonetheless. When I died, my connection to the Countess passed on to him.
Charles Meltzer is using the Countess to kill people.
By accident?
No, on purpose. He sent her after me.
Now, that's a shame. I'm aware that through my actions I killed a few people, but I could forgive myself for it, since I was unaware of what I was doing. But many times I thought to myself, I have a weapon. It's untraceable. Nobody knows about it. I could use it, but I did not. I was tempted, but I did not. Not once. You have to stop, Charles. Break this link, destroy this place. No more innocents should have to die.
Thanks for talking, Mr. Mitchell. I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, Miss Blackwell.
Hello.
Hello, my name is Joseph Ferdinand Gould. I am graduate of Harvard magna cum difficultate and chairman of the board of Wheel and Woe Incorporated. In exchange for a drink, I'll recite a poem, deliver a lecture, argue a point, or take off my shoes and imitate a seagull. I prefer gin, but beer will do.
I've been hearing a lot about you lately.
My reputation precedes me.
I saw your portrait in the Minetta.
The Minetta. Yes, I'm quite famous there, you know.
I gathered.
It's all thanks to Mitchell, of course. The Joe Gould Fund filled its coffers nicely when he wrote his article.
What are you doing here?
I don't quite know myself. We've all got to be someplace. As I understand it, I was mentally linked to my old friend, the Countess. I wish I'd known. It explains everything that my work was trying to prove.
How did you know the Countess?
We met in a diner like this one. We'd often spend a week or two walking along the docks to discuss seagulls. She had many interesting theories on seagull linguistics. Then, one day, she disappeared. But a link had already formed between us. It's everything my oral history was trying to prove, that we're all linked.
Your work.
I have had many callings. I studied the seagulls of the world and learned their language. I spent months measuring the heads of 1,000 Chippewa Indians. But before I died, I was putting to paper the most important literary work known to man, the oral history of our time. It was a compilation of the conversations of the city, overheard in bars, subways, street corners, and diners. Put together and studied properly, it would have revolutionized everything.
I'd like to read the oral history.
And I'd like you to, but I'm afraid it belongs to the ages now.
There was also the problem of it never existing in the first place.
Of course it existed, only not on paper. It was over 3 million words, 3 times the size of the Holy Bible. The work transcended mere parchment and ink.
What about those essays you published in the Dial?
A passing fancy, nothing more.
You wrote essays?
For the now-defunct Dial magazine. I still have the originals. Do you want to see?
I'd like to see that essay.
Here you go.
It appears to be an essay about insanity, but the handwriting is so awful I can barely make it out. Just as well. I don't have time to read all this stuff. I don't think he'll miss this. Here you go.
Always glad to share.
Looks like the door to the kitchen. Locked. Easy. What's that noise? That oven is closed. That's weird. There's a strange glow coming from inside. Hello? Is someone in there?
She comes, she comes.
Who are you?
Part of a whole. Left beyond. Safe here. Leave me.
Are you the Countess?
Countess, one of my names. Yes. I no longer live, but part of me remains. Leave me.
I need to take you out of here.
No. Safe here. Warm here. I stay in warm places. Too cold out there.
My hand goes right through it.
No. Too cold. I will survive here and save fire. Leave me.
Well, see ya. I'm talking to an oven.
A sound idea. I'm sure it made more sense than most people I know. So this is the kitchen. Such a bare and emotionless place. Not even a bottle of ketchup.
Mr. Gould,
She returns. Say, can you spare a few dollars for the Joe Gould Fund?
I'm afraid I'm a little short.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Does something about that oven look strange to you?
Nothing about my life has ever made sense. Why should an oven be any different?
What's your connection to Joseph Mitchell?
Ah, Mitchell, my benefactor. He made me quite famous, you know. But my goodwill only extends so far.
Why's that?
A cigarette. He has them. He won't give me one. It's demeaning to have to beg for one measly cigarette.
You want a cigarette?
Yes, I want a cigarette. It's a disgrace that I should have to beg for one.
I'll talk to you later.
Sure. Things to do.
Mr. Mitchell,
Yes.
why don't you give him a cigarette?
When you give that man a cigarette or a drink, he likes to talk. And the only subject Joe Gould likes to talk about, at length, is Joe Gould. And the only person for him to talk to is me. So, I do not give him a cigarette.
Gould has left the room.
I see. Thank you for that.
Have you reconsidered giving him a cigarette?
I suppose I have been a little hard on the man. Here, I don't smoke anymore anyway. Give him the whole pack.
The oven in the kitchen is talking.
Is it now?
This doesn't surprise you.
Miss, look where we are. I stopped being surprised ages ago.
Thanks for talking, Mr. Mitchell. I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, Miss Blackwell.
Joseph Mitchell wanted you to have this.
Ah, nice contribution to the Joe Gould Fund.
Liking your cigarette?
It's delightful. Here, feel free to join me.
Thanks, but I don't smoke.
You might as well keep it. When a man is rich, he can afford to be generous.
The Countess is killing people.
Murder? No, I refuse to believe that. She couldn't hurt a fly.
Why is she called the Countess?
That's what she chooses to call herself. Far be it for me to tell her otherwise.
The name doesn't seem strange to you?
When you lived a life like mine, you take people at face value. Who cares about names? I once knew another fellow without a name. Called himself the Deacon.
The Deacon? You knew the Deacon?
Oh yes, he was this gloomy career drunk. One summer night while sitting in a doorway of the Bowery, he caught the scent of sulphur. He looked up and saw the devil himself standing over him. Since that night he believed he lost his soul. Not the most charitable drinking companion, if I may say so.
No, he wouldn't be.
You knew him?
Sort of.
Fancy that.
How would it have revolutionized everything?
We were all connected, every single one of us. But how? Think of the ramifications if we found out.
It sounds like quite an undertaking.
It was my life's work.
Hello? Is this warm enough?
Warm. Safety. The flame will carry me. Thank you.
That sounds ominous.
I can't explain it, but I have the feeling that my time in this place is ending.
I'm breaking the link. It'll all be over soon.
Over. Yes. I can't say that I ever understood any of this, but I do know one thing. Gould was right. We are connected. Every single person on the planet. It's a pattern so complex that we can't even begin to understand it. So don't try to understand it. Gould tried, and he lived a miserable life. Just live, and be happy in living. Anyhow, you best get gone. You got a job to finish.
This place is starting to fade.
That's good, right? Once this place is gone, the link is gone too. The killing will stop.
This means something to you, the killing.
She killed someone right in front of me. No! No, you didn't! Claude! I want to stop that from happening again.
Imagine that. Genuine heart. Your predecessor was not graced with such compassion.
Predecessor? Do you mean Lauren? My Auntie Lauren?
We should not stay here. This place will soon cease to be. Come.
It's broken! The bond is broken! I'm free!
Way to go, Red.
My head. I understand everything.
Everything?
I hurt people.
Yes, that was you. But look, whatever happened, it's done. You can't do anything about it now. It's time for you to move on.
No, this should not have happened. He will not kill again.
Hey! It's about time you got back here. What did you guys do?
I did it, Joey. I broke the bond.
Yeah, you broke it all right, and our friend just blew.
She did not enter the white light?
No.
Oh, that is a problem. She has free will and is loose in the world. With the power she has, who knows what damage she can cause.
Great, just great. I don't know who you are, lady, and I don't care. But just leave the spook work to us, okay?
I have little choice in the matter. I am bound to this plane. What happens next is up to you.
Wait!
Let's get out of here.
Whoa, little dizzy.
Careful, kid, you've never been under for that long.
At least I'm alive.
Yeah, everything's peachy. There's a killer ghost on the loose, and it's our fault.
But we broke the link. She doesn't have to kill anymore.
You want to tell her that?
Who would she want to kill anyway?
I think she's going to kill Charlie Meltzer.
Oh, him. The guy who wants me dead.
Yeah, ironic as all get out. We'll sort it out later. Let's get going.
Are you Marty Goldwater?
Yeah, who are you?
Rosangela Blackwell.
What do you want?
Your son. I heard what happened. Paul, what happened?
Charles, something took him. I've never seen anything like it.
What happened?